Hi everyone, my name is Priyadashni Mudawat and today we are going to discuss about the Unit 8. So our topic would be a non-relational database. Let's start with the agenda here. So the following agenda shows the introduction and it also shows the categories of non-relational databases, and we are going to also discuss about the advantages and disadvantages of non-relational databases, suggestions, and then final conclusion, and then the references. So here goes the introduction of for the non-relational database. So we're gonna know deeply about what exactly is non-relational database. So a database management system that differs from a standard relational database model is referred to as a non-relational database, or it can also be known as NoSQL database. So NoSQL databases can handle a wide range of models and formats in contrast with relational databases, which store data in a structured tables with predefined schemas. So large volumes of unstructured and semi-structured data can be managed and kept by NoSQL database management system. So basically when we are compared with the regular relational databases, it stores the data in tables with predefined schemas. So here we are going to discuss about the categories of non-relational database. So there are total 4 categories for non-relational databases. There are document databases, graph databases, column family stores, and key value stores. So let's get started with each of the categories. So firstly, for the document databases, so basically these database implement documents formats like JSON or XML to organize and retrieve the data. And the document oriented languages are used to perform queries, giving users flexibility when controlling the semi structured data. And second, coming up with the graph databases. So they are specifically designed to manage convoluted connections between various data points, represent data as nodes connected by edges, and their capacity to deal with intricate data dependencies and networks with productivity is what keeps things strong. And then coming up to the third category, it is the column family stores. So these databases treat groups of columns as cohesive units and which set up data into column families. This design is optimized for fast and effective querying, especially for large data sets. And then coming up with the fourth category, which is key value stores. So the data here is saved in the databases as a pair of keys and values. So usually they offer an easy to understandable approach for data retrieval and storage, and they excel at rapid read and write operations. So now we are going to move on with the advantages of non-relational database. So first advantages would be the high scalability. So the NoSQL databases use sharding to distribute data across multiple machines while maintaining its order, enabling its high scalability through horizontal scaling. So Cassandra, MongoDB, and other databases are the instance of horizontal scaling databases. NoSQL's scalability permits it to handle huge amounts of data as it grows, and NoSQL scales the auto itself for efficiently handling that data. And the next advantages is the performance. So compared with the standard relational databases, NoSQL databases can provide greater efficiency because they are built to handle enormous amounts of data and traffic. Moving on to the next advantages, which is flexibility, cost effectiveness, high availability, and agility. So for flexibility, the NoSQL databases are capable of handling dynamic changes in the data model because they are made to handle unstructured or semi-structured data. So due to this, NoSQL databases are an appropriate choice for applications which have taken into account varying the data needs. And next is cost effectiveness. So NoSQL databases are usually less complex and they don't require expensive hardware or software. So they are usually cheaper than the traditional relational databases. And next comes the high availability. So NoSQL databases are highly available due to their auto replication feature at that replicate data to a consistent state in an instant of a failure. And moving on to agility, so it's suitable for the quick development. So now we are going to discuss about the disadvantages, as we have discussed about the advantages in the previous slide. So few disadvantages in the non-relational databases would be lack of standardization, large document size, and lack of ACID compliance. So coming up with the lack of standardization, so it's a query language such as a SQL in a non-relational databases, which leads to being hard for developers to work with the data consistently across databases. So the process of learning for NoSQL databases can be more difficult because each one might have its own query language or API. And next, which is a large document size. So JSON format is supported by some database systems, such as like CouchDB and MongoDB. In addition to the large size of documents like big data and speed, so it is actually negative to have descriptive key names due to they produce the document larger. And coming up to the next disadvantages, which is lack of ACID compliance. So NoSQL databases do not ensure the consistency, integrity, and durability of data since they do not fully adhere to ACID standards. Application that need strong data consistency guarantees might discover to this be a drawback. So here are a few more disadvantages of non-relational databases, which is open source. So one type of open source database is NoSQL. So for NoSQL, there is presently no reliable standard declared differently. It is likely that two database systems are not equal. And next comes the maturity and community support. Compared with the regular relational databases, some non-relational databases may not be as developed or have a strong community. So this can lead to a lack of community support like documentation, trustworthy tools, which makes some fixing issues a bigger challenge for the developers. And next are the security considerations. So like few NoSQL databases might not include as many integrated security features as traditionally used relational databases. So maintaining the integrity of the data could also involve adding more flexibility for modification layers and improving the security. So here are a few suggestions for non-relational databases. So upon completion and in in-depth analysis, I suggest utilizing a NoSQL database for our requirements, as it has more benefits in terms of cost optimization, scalability, and flexibility. Even though there are challenges to overcome, like the need to learn new skills and hit an agreement between consistency and other factors, we can do so with the thoughtful preparation, suitable instruction, and a well thought in incremental deployment strategy. So here is the final conclusion for the given topic. So in summary, the move to a non-relational database is an excellent strategic decision that perfectly suits our evolving data requirements. So my suggestion is to start with a thorough pilot program to make sure we totally double check all the benefits and take care of any potential drawbacks. This systematic method will ensure an effective and seamless migration, facilitating an easy transition to the new database system. So let's seize this chance for growth and success. So here are the references for the overall data here. And that's it. Thank you everyone. Feel free to ask any questions.